Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
All right, hey guys, welcome back to our show. I'm your host, John Harkar. Here today with Gonzalo Corzo. And what we're going to talk about with him, besides his journey in business and real estate is, really the importance of building your brand, right? Really making your mark, letting people know who you are. Remember, guys, at Investor Fuel, we help real estate investors, service providers, really all real estate entrepreneurs, 2 to 5x their business. It's the tools, the resources, and the community to help scale your business to where you want to go, which in turn helps you live that life you've always dreamed of. So Gonzalo, man, welcome to our show.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming on here. Excited to talk about it. I love talking about branding. Let's be honest, I love talking about all real estate. But I like how, different people come up with different solutions to their branding problems. But before we talk about all that, let's dig into you, man. Tell our audience a little bit about your experience, your growth and your journey in business and real estate, and what brought you to today.
Yeah, man. So I got into the game. So I'm in Jacksonville, Florida. Own a company called Geeks Home Buyers. I got into the game in late 2014. I had just graduated high school. My older brother is a realtor, and he completely changed his career to become a realtor. And he was getting into and the only reason he became a realtor is because he was getting into real estate investing.
Mm-hmm.
And he took me to a seminar when I was 18 years old. And he was like, "You should do real estate." I was like, "Nah, it's, doesn't really appease me. I was going to school to be a cop." And
Oh, wow.
I was fresh out of high school. I was in community college getting my AA in criminology, and go to the seminar. Literally 2 weeks later, I convinced my parents to let me drop out of school, give me 6 months to figure out how to make real estate work. And so I got a job at a wholesale company. So I was trying to figure out wholesaling, linked up with a mentor, and it really turned into more of like an internship and then a job as a disposition manager at a wholesale company. And that's what took me
Okay.
to Jacksonville, Florida. I'm originally from Bradenton, Sarasota area, right under Tampa and in Florida. So I started doing that in 2015, and then in 2017, I left them and started my own company called Cash Geeks. In
Okay.
2017, my main focus was just wholesaling. So I had a partner at the time. I partnered up with another investor that I had met. He had a lot of business experience, and I had a lot of the market wholesale experience, and he had more of
Hmm.
just business management experience. I was 21. We partnered up, and we did it. We made a lot of noise, man. At our prime in like 2021, obviously the market was on our side, and the hedge
Sure.
funds were buying like crazy. So we systemized a lot, focused very heavy on systems, processes, scaling, and we got to the point where we're doing 300 plus deals a year, 4 mil plus a year, in wholesaling, strictly wholesaling.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
And
Incredible.
and then the interest rates went up in 22, and our failure was becoming solely dependent on hedge funds to buy. So our business model relied on about 8 different clients, and we were only looking for inventory, like it shifted throughout the time, where I was like, hey, why don't we just keep looking for inventory for these guys? And
They're
it made it
paying the most. Why not?
exactly, they're paying the most, and it made it the easiest to scale because we have the same client that can buy in 15 states. We don't have to go to a new state or a new market and figure out the new buyers list and all this is we can just take orders in multiple states and multiple markets. And so it was awesome while it lasted. But then in 22, slowly but surely, they started changing their buy box. They turned off, and I had a machine. We had like 25 employees in office. We had like 30 VAs cold calling, and we slowly but surely had to restructure, resize, and that led to me and my partner at that time um, parting ways. And we're still
Mhm.
buddies today. We own rentals together. We still do deals together. Just bought a house from him like a couple months ago. But we decided that I, me and him decided we don't know what we're gonna do in the future, like in the near future because of the market. So I had ideas of what I wanted to do. He had ideas of what he wanted to do. So we just decided to part ways, and I ended up buying him out of the company. So I
Okay.
kept Cash Geeks, and at that point, it was refiguring out myself, right? What do I do?
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
I leaned into my network. And so I partnered up with a couple of not like full business partners, but just by project. I partnered up with flippers because I knew I could find deals
Yeah.
and the wholesale margins were going down. And at the same time, all the buyers, local buyers, were also trying to figure out what to do, right? How many projects are we going to buy? The
Hmm.
market's
Hmm.
slowing down, nothing's selling. And so I felt that the best thing for me to do was to get into a position where I can control the asset, where I can buy the house. And so I raised some money, some private money, friends and family, other local investors, and we started buying houses. And I partnered up with a flipper that I had known for years. He was a client of mine. I had been selling him houses, and he wanted to do more deals, but needed to find deeper deals now because of the market, right? You need to buy deeper.
Hmm.
And so we did like in 20 between 2023 and 2024, we did about 30 flips, 40 flips. Um,
Wow. Okay.
but the goal was to do more. But the retail market right now, it's not good, right? Especially in
Hmm.
Jacksonville, Florida. Inventory is creeping up like crazy. There's a lot of competition when you go to list a house. There's a lot of active inventory, and
Right.
so and prices rose very quickly in Jacksonville during the COVID years, and so they're coming
Hmm.
down kind of quickly, right? So we we decided to not me and my partner, my flipper partner, we still do deals together, but now it's more of instead of me and him in on the deal together, I'll find the house and just get some sort of like a JV flip fee.
Got it.
And then I can control the house if I, sell it to somebody else, awesome, or I'll bring it to my flip partner. And we still flip them
Okay.
together now. Um,
Got it.
so that's what my business looks like now. I figured out that I'm really good at finding deals if I'm able to close on
Okay.
them. And so that's
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
what I am doing now. I'm just buying houses from my network either through realtors or wholesalers. I have a large network of wholesalers because of how big we were in the wholesale industry. We got a little bit into coaching, as most people do, right, in the investment world. We got a little
Right.
bit into coaching, so we had a large network of that, and we had a whole JV department in my wholesale business. So if you had a deal and you wanted to sell to the hedge funds, we were the guys that had the connections to all the hedge funds. So you would just bring us deals and we would sell them for you. So when everything started slowing down, I stopped when I parted ways with my business partner, I completely stopped marketing. Cold turkey. I was scared, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
they're kills it.
yep. And so I was scared to spend any money because I didn't know what I was going to do. I'm leaving my business partner. I have a couple team members left from Cash Geeks and I don't know what to do. So I'm going to cut marketing and only lean into my JV department because I can count on other wholesalers' deals. Sure, the margins aren't the best, but I don't have
Right.
to spend any money, right, while I figure things out. And
Sure.
so quickly I realized there was a big need for other wholesalers were also struggling to sell their properties. But
Right.
what I found was the deals were getting better because of the lack of buyers. I just had to be able to close on them. And so
Mm-hmm.
I realized that I can find good deals. The retail market isn't the best, but if I can secure the asset and close on it, then I can do whatever I want to do with it afterwards. I can wholesale it, I can wholetail it. We've started doing that a
Hotel it.
lot more. Is just trash out the place, cut the grass, and make it walkable, right? Not livable, but
Right.
make it so that people can at least walk the property and then turn around and resell it, or we have the option to completely renovate it and resell it then. And so I quickly figured out the key in this market is to have the cash to take down assets very quickly
Yeah.
because there's a lot of
Yeah.
uncertainty and there's a lot of last minute people backing out of deals. Money's harder to get on deals, right? Hard money lenders are getting stricter. And so just last week, on Wednesday, I had a wholesaler call me up and he was like, "Hey, I'm supposed to have a closing on Friday. Buyer backed out. Money didn't come in. I tried to get an extension from the seller. Seller doesn't want to extend. What can you pay?" Right? And I got it done. Closed on Friday. Uh, and that's because I've raised the private money, have the cash
Yeah.
ready to go. Um,
So is that what you're using most of, is private money versus any type of hard money or anything like that?
Correct. It's just private money. Luckily, because of my local network and brand, I also have a lot of local mom and pop private lenders that have seen me,
There you go.
go from this dispo guy at a random wholesale company to now, being one of the biggest wholesalers in Jacksonville. They trust me a lot with their money. They trust my reputation. Obviously, it's secured by the real estate asset, but that's how I'm mainly using my money. And the reason for that is because the way that I buy is I want to be the guy that bails you out. Right. That's how I find the deep deals. Right. And I know the game. So if you send me a deal, I'll tell you straight up, listen, man, I'm probably not going to be the strongest buyer for this. Right. Like I'm going to be
Right.
here, but in my wholesale experience, you could probably sell this for like 10, 15, 20 grand more. Right. Go get
Right.
it. If you
Right.
don't, call me and my offer is like I'm not a big pushy sales guy. Right. It's like my offer is still going to be
Sure. Yeah.
good. I'm
Yeah.
not that kind of guy. It's like, hey, if you don't take my offer today, like I'm going to buy something else. Like I want to buy volume. So if you call me on Tuesday and say, "Hey, I'm ready to take your offer. You got to close tomorrow," I'm in, right? And so because of the way that I buy, also I buy a lot of weird situations. And so it makes it harder to get into the houses. What I mean by that is because of my deal expertise of all the deals that I've done over 1,000 deals now.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
We've dealt with squatters, we've dealt with city violations, we've dealt with fire damage properties, we've dealt with condemned houses. And so as a wholesaler in my career, I don't want the buyer to back out for an issue that he can't solve.
Right.
I'm going to solve the issue and figure out how
Yep.
can he still close on the deal, whether it's a title issue or whatever. And so because of that, we've put out hundreds, if not thousands, of fires. So because I have the certainty of how to handle those situations, I'll buy the house with the situation. So I'll buy houses with liens. I'll buy houses that I just bought a house. I'll buy sight unseen. I'll buy houses that have squatters. I'll kick out the squatter. I tell the wholesalers, you don't even got to worry about the squatter. I'll close on it as long as I got pictures and I can walk it. And even if I can't walk it, as long as I have pictures, I'll go ahead and close on it. I'll deal with the headache. So I've had
Mm-hmm.
people, sell me fire damage stuff, condemned stuff, things that you're not allowed to access. Like how do you access a property that says you're not allowed to access? They don't know, the seller doesn't know. Well, I know how to go get an access pass from the city or whatever it is, right? And so
Right. 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 Right.
leveraging my buying power to buy quickly with my deal expertise has been my this is now what my business is. How can I buy properties that other investors can't buy? They want to buy it, but they can't because they either can't get in or their hard money lender needs to get inside again to approve the deal. The squad or the tenant won't let them in, or sometimes there's a tenant, right? Where there's a tenant they're on a month-to-month lease. The flipper's not going to buy it because they don't know how to deal with that tenant. They don't know if they're going to,
Mm-hmm.
how are they going to deal with this individual? And so a lot of times is buying some sort of occupancy issue I've noticed is really good for me. Right? I have a house right now that has a 45-day post occupancy. The seller was only willing to do the deal if they could stay in the house for 45 days. Flippers don't love that. Hard money lenders don't love that. I don't care. I'll
No.
take it down. I'll wait the 45 days and
Do
then
you do
sell
a
it.
holdback in
Right?
that regard?
Yes, we do a holdback.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. All right.
yeah, yeah.
Well, I mean, it sounds like you figured out and you solved a lot of solutions. I mean, what do you think have been the your main keys to success of? I mean, it seems like you know how to pivot, you know how to maneuver, and you know things. So, what do you think have been the things that really kept you going?
Yeah, I would say the things that have kept me going is I've been part of a lot of mastermind groups, and that is my biggest, that's why I'm here, right? Been
Sure.
part of a lot of groups, and that is where I get my hope for the future, if that makes sense, because I wasn't around in '08,
A
and
hundred percent.
I know '08 was a lot worse than what we're going through now. And I'm in these mastermind
Yeah.
groups with a bunch of investors who had gone through '08, and I was learning through them in this little hiccup how to navigate, right? And so hearing people that have like they're on the top of the world now, knowing that, in '08 they lost everything. So that gave me kind of that certainty of, hey, this is just my time to reinvent myself. We always hear real estate has cycles, it's up and downs, but when you start in 2015 and then you get COVID, like I had never experienced a down, it was only up and
Right.
up and then
Right.
it
Right.
got even better, right? And so, um, like it was just like I realized this is my time to reinvent myself and repivot and have that story of, hey, back in, 22 when the rates increased,
Right.
I had to pivot. I had to completely reinvent myself, new business model, new what, you know what I mean? And so I just understood, hey,
Hmm.
this is my time now. And, seeing everybody and hearing everybody how they did it when it was way worse. Like, if they can do it, I can do it, right? Especially with information
Yeah.
nowadays
Yep.
and the groups that I'm in now, like these masterminds didn't exist back then. You couldn't ask
No.
for advice. You couldn't ask people for help. And so
Right.
that honestly has been the biggest thing for me is I always invest in being in some part of a mastermind of some sort. Um,
Hmm.
and most of the time, don't get me wrong, in masterminds, there's the people that put them on are awesome and they have successful businesses, but the individuals in the room are really the gold for me,
100%, man.
right? Is being
Trust me.
able to, yeah. And I don't got to
When
tell
I
you, you know.
No, when I first started, back in 2018 when I joined, I met, Aaron Pimpus of Launch Control, and that was back when it was kind of in beta, and that thing doubled my 2x my business in 3 months, man. I mean, so it's
Exactly.
it's like you said, it's the people, it's the connections, and I like how you talked about that. Guys at home, this is a big point. Be around people that are doing what you want to do, that have been where you've been, that can help guide you because it shortens that learning curve, you know.
Yeah.
And it sounds like that you see that value. You talk about the masterminds, you talk about the mentors, So do you feel that without that type of guidance or those type of you're pursuing that type of stuff, you'd be where you're at today?
Absolutely not. There's no way. I would not be where I'm at without being part of these groups. I would have. It's very hard. It's different when you read something in a book versus when you meet someone who's also read the book, done everything in the book, and then shows you the results. That's when you're
And
like,
shows you
oh,
the
okay, this
shortcut. Right.
exactly. And then you're like, oh, this isn't just a concept or like, can I do what this book is saying? It's like, no, now I can text the guy who is who's done, implemented, and is like, hey, read this book, but also watch out for chapter three. Like chapter three was the most important part. Like you need to
Mm-hmm.
only read chapter, so you get those little tips and tricks. And so there's absolutely no way I would be where I'm at. Or and I could have gotten to a certain point, but there's no way I'd be today, where I'm
Right.
at today with, it was in 22. It was a mastermind event. We were in Belize. So we were in like paradise, and
Mm.
this was October of 22. So everybody in the mastermind is like losing their crap in their business, right? But we're in
Yeah. Right.
Belize in this
Exactly.
beautiful spot in the world, but it's like the hardest time for all of us in our business. And so we're all
Mm.
sharing. And I'll never forget, man, one of the guys that I was talking to, we were at the pool, talking about how both of our how our businesses were being affected and stuff. And he was telling me, he was like, dude, I've been through this 3 times. This is your first time. And so like you're
Right.
gonna you're gonna
Get ready
you're
for another one later down the road.
correct, yeah. And he was like, but I'll never forget, I wish his biggest advice was I wish I would have made harder decisions quicker. Because you know the
Mm.
decisions you need to make, but it's hard to do them. And so you
Yep.
take your time, you delay them, you want to wait to see what happens with the market, you want to do whatever.
You
And he
want
was
to
like,
find the
make
perfect time, which never comes.
exactly correct. And he was like, make the hard decisions faster in a time like this. And that
Awesome.
was amazing advice. And I remember calling my business partner at the time from Belize, being like, yo, we gotta have some talks, And
Right?
so absolutely, man, being part of those groups and having connections that have not only achieved what you want to achieve, but also have dealt with the downturns that I didn't
Yeah.
realize how valuable that was because I never had been in a little downturn.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
didn't realize how valuable that was until like that's when I reached out the most. That's when I leveraged the most my connections from my mastermind. I was calling
Yep.
everybody like, "Yo, what are you doing?
100%.
What are you seeing? And so absolutely, man, I attribute and I say this locally, right? Because I speak a lot in local engagements and stuff like that, and I became one of the top wholesalers in Jacksonville, and it was only because of the masterminds that I was being a part of, only
Yeah.
because of the
That's good.
personal development and the money that I invested in myself and the
I
connections that
love it.
I made. Yeah.
I love it, man. I love it. Before we sign off here, you are in Jacksonville. What's a buy box? What are you looking for? Let people know that might be in the area that want to do business with you, what you're looking for.
Yeah, I pretty much buy everything, man. The only thing that I don't buy, so right now, obviously everything has a price, but I look for cookie cutter comps. That's all I'm looking for. So if I have a product, if I have a house that I'm buying and it's in a subdivision and almost all the houses are look exactly the same, have the same kind of stats, bedrooms, baths, square footage, then I'm in, right? So the only thing that I would say I'm not buying is if you send me a house on 2 acres that's surrounded by a subdivision and that house has a
Unique
mobile home on
properties,
it,
yeah.
unique properties,
Hmm.
those are tough for me to buy, right? I don't have
Hmm.
predictable results. That's all I ask for. I don't care if it's a 115, like I've literally flipped a 500 square foot condo, but it's because there was a bunch of one
A bunch
bedroom,
of
one
other
bath,
ones in
500 comps.
it.
So
Right,
if I have
right.
predictable results, I'll buy it, right? So that's the only
Yeah.
thing that I don't buy is just weird properties,
Okay.
multiple houses on one lot or whatever, right? But I'll still buy them. I'm just probably not going to be as aggressive on my offer. Um,
Okay.
but
Cool.
I like to buy everything.
Sweet. If there are folks that are listening that have something for you, or maybe want to talk, and something you said resonated, how do they get in touch with you?
Yeah, they can follow me on social media, Gonzalo Corzo, real Gonzalo Corzo on Instagram. They can go to my company website, cashgeeks.com. Or they can just send me an email, gonzalo at cashgeeks.com, Gonzalo at cashgeeks.com.
Sweet. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this, man, and I hope you picked up some good nuggets. I mean, I know I did. Gonzalo, I really appreciate you coming on here and sharing all this. Folks, reach out to him if you're doing business in the Jacksonville area, or if you just, like I said, you just have questions. Sounds like he's got a very extensive career with a lot of knowledge that can help you guys out. Gonzalo, have a happy 4th of July, man. Appreciate you spending some time with us
Absolutely.
today. And guys, we'll see you on the next one. Cheers.
Hey, thanks for having me, man.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.